Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about Jackrabbit's indicator on indicator capabilities. Let's start with Jackrabbit itself. The IOI framework, it seems alien, but it's really not. Turning all of these on and off is the same thing. This is indicator on indicator in TradingView's terms. The only difference is here you don't see the impact or the effect in between each mindset. You also can't control the order. This is a top-down process. Here, you can see the order, you can change the order, and you can control the order. But it's still the very same process as this. Don't get caught up in the terms. Turning this on, turning this on, turning this on is no different than loading these three modules, except for the modules themselves, of course. You're familiar with indicator on indicator already. If you've been working with the main Jackrabbit indicator itself, or even the strategy, you're familiar with combining different mindsets. The only difference is this lets you see each one individually and control which one is first and which one is last. Other than that, it's everything you're used to working with already. That being said, yes, I said I'm going to eventually get rid of all of this. The Jackrabbit indicator is going to be relegated to legacy and eventually go away. But that's not going to happen until each and every single mindset has its own complete standalone module. The only reason Trend Hunter got replaced right away with ADX is simply because Trend Hunter had to be very limited in order to fit it into the all-in-one script. Here, there's no limit. It's very controllable and very much far more advanced than the Trend Hunter and the main indicator. But I am not going to replace the Fibonacci moving average, range hunter, or any of the other indicators in mass as rapidly as I had to ADX. Simply because this works. It works well, it works profitable, and that's why it's the first actual module in the modulus framework. This is not going away for a very long time. Don't try to constrain yourself to these modules for the modulus framework, thinking that one day you're going to wake up and Jackrabbit is going to be gone. No, it's not. It's not going away for a very long time. And even then, I doubt it will even go away then. I'll probably just label it as legacy. So use these components. Use them well. Risk mitigation is one of the strongest. So is the Fibonacci technical analysis. Take advantage of what this offers. Don't try to constrain yourself. Don't limit yourself. Remember, every carpenter has a tool chest of thousands of tools. Their workshop has every kind of saw and imagination. But that doesn't mean you need to try to use every single tool on every single job. Pick the right tool for the right job. Don't overcomplicate what indicator on indicator is. The next thing I want to talk about is when working with indicator on the indicator, choosing the order when you first begin to work on them. Lay your scripts out, but don't link them together. Look for which scripts are leading and which scripts are lagging. For example, right here, MACD leads moving averages, but moving averages leads ADX. So MACD is the leading mindset, ADX is the lagging mindset. So this is going to be the top of the chain. This could be the bottom of the chain. So your second script, or your second mindset, in this case moving averages, is going to plug into MACD. Always go from the most signals to the least signals. Most signals, least signals. Don't link them up until you see how they interact. So now we're going to link up ADX, but we're going to link it up to the moving averages signal line. And we will see what shows up. Okay, nothing. Now, why is that? We have plenty of signals that look like they line up. Well, they didn't. I'll show you. Let's unlink this one. And as you can see, they don't always line up. Lining up signals can be tedious. Now, moving averages, this is just a basic crossover. Nothing simple about it. Or excuse me, nothing complex about it. Pretty much cookie cutter right out of the book. So, let's play with the numbers a little. Nothing major, nothing serious. Okay, you could get this error, not a big deal. This is normal. Just change and change back. Sometimes the mathematics will knock out the sequence. When it reloads, you'll see the combination as appropriate. So as you can see, the changes I made. So this by signal leads this by signal. Let's see if we can figure it out by how much. Well, let's come up here and hide the signal line first of all. Now we can count candlesticks. Now, be prepared to do some zooming. Once you figure out where your leads are, be prepared to zoom them in. And figuring out which ones to lead. You also be prepared to rearrange. Just because moving average looked good when we first looked at it, you might have to rearrange it. So those are all things you need to look at. And as you can see, when you really look at it, okay, let's look at this one. This one looks like a good point. Now this is really a little bit too far for a signal to reach. But we can take And let's switch ADX to aggressive mode. And let's see if we get a lineup here. Nope, no lineups. So this is going to happen. You're not going to get perfect lineups. Not always. Sometimes you'll get lucky, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you just have to move the order around. So let's unlink this one. Now when you're unlinking to move it around, you have to make sure it's not linked to Jackrabbit. So now let's link ADX. To MACD. And now let's, okay, did I forget to turn this back on? Yes, I did. Remember to turn it on. All right, so there we have the lineups between ADX and MACD. Now let's link moving averages to ADX. And let's see what lines up. Don't become fixated in one direction, because oftentimes that can hurt you in terms of trying to figure out connective points. And here we are, one buy signal. So when you think about the interactions, think about how those interactions play in the order of your chain. In this case, this is the lead or the start of the chain. This is the second link in a chain. And this is the third link in a chain. So always start with everything unlinked at first to begin to see the correlation. But don't get yourself trapped in the order of your indicator on indicator. This is where the modulus framework becomes significantly more powerful than what is represented here. You cannot change the order that these operate. They operate top, down, first to last. But it's still, from TradingView's technical standpoint, indicator on indicator without all the fancy graphics. Don't get caught up in the terms and let yourself get confused. This is not a new concept from what you're used to. If you've been using Jackrabbit for any amount of time, this is exactly identical to what you've been doing, just more powerful. There's nothing magic about this. It's very simple, very straightforward, and not that complicated. You can overcomplicate it, but it's not complicated to begin with. When you're first starting, don't worry about trying to layer countless amounts of different possibilities. You don't need to. Think simplicity, because simplicity is what's going to determine your success. The indicator on indicator paradigm is very simple, very well and in tuned. And all you have to do is just find the right order. That is the benefit that the modulus framework gives you over the Jackrabbit main indicator itself. You have no choices here. You can't see how the components interact. Here you can. But I emphasize, don't try to reproduce what's available here with just a handset of modules here. That's not going to happen. Take advantage of what these offer. Support and resistance, for example. Risk mitigation. This is one of Jackrabbit's strongest indicators or mindsets. JR-Ling is an incredible tool when you want to trace the market and really scalp it. Range Hunter is a whole different approach to even looking at the market that simply does not exist in the modulus framework yet. Pick the right tool for the right job. Until next time.